It was a Friday afternoon at Lincoln High, the kind of day when the hallways echoed with laughter and shouts as students spilled out for the weekend. For most, it was the start of freedom. For Daniel Brooks, it was the start of work. Daniel wasn't like the other adults at school. While the teachers headed home, he stayed behind, pushing his mop and cart through quiet halls, fixing flickering lights, unclogging stubborn toilets, and sweeping away the mess of the day. At 43, life hadn't been kind to him. Once a promising college baseball player, his dreams had ended abruptly when his wife passed away from an aggressive illness, leaving him to raise his 10-year-old son, Caleb, alone. The janitor job at Lincoln High wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills, barely. More importantly, it let him be close to Caleb, who went to the same school. Daniel took pride in doing his work well. He knew every creaky step, every locker that jammed, every place where the roof leaked. Still, not everyone saw the dignity in his work. One person in particular, the school's head football coach, Rick Thompson, never missed a chance to make Daniel the butt of a joke. Rick was everything Daniel wasn't: loud, muscular, and cocky, the kind of guy who strutted around as if the school belonged to him. His team had just made the regional finals, and his ego had swelled to match. "Hey, Brooks," Rick called one afternoon, tossing a paper cup toward Daniel's mop bucket. It missed by 2 feet. "You missed a spot." "Oh wait, you missed your whole life, didn't you?" His laughter echoed down the hallway, and a few students chuckled awkwardly. Daniel kept his head down. He'd learned long ago that some battles weren't worth fighting, especially in front of kids. But Caleb had overheard the remark, and later that night, as they sat at their small kitchen table eating macaroni and cheese, he looked up at his dad. "Why do you let him talk to you like that?" Caleb asked. Daniel gave a tired smile. "Because, buddy, words can't change who I am. But how I respond. That's my choice." Caleb didn't look convinced. The following week, the school announced its annual charity sports day, where teachers and staff competed in friendly games to raise money for the community center. Rick Thompson, never one to miss the spotlight, organized a basketball exhibition match, his varsity football team against the staff. During the sign-up, Rick spotted Daniel sweeping the gym floor. "Hey, Brooks," he called loudly, grinning at the group of athletes beside him. "Why don't you join the staff team?" "Oh wait, do you even know how to dribble?" The players laughed. Daniel straightened, gripping the broom handle. "I can play a little," he said quietly. Rick's eyebrows shot up. "Oh, this is too good. Tell you what, if you score even 1 point against my boys, I'll publicly apologize for everything I've ever said about you. But if you don't," he paused, smirking. "You wear a world's worst athlete shirt for a whole week." The students roared with laughter. The challenge was public now. Daniel glanced at the bleachers, where Caleb sat watching with wide eyes. He thought of the look on his son's face when he'd been insulted. "All right," Daniel said, "you've got yourself a deal." News of the janitor versus coach challenge spread like wildfire. By game day, the bleachers were packed. Students held handmade signs, most in good humor, some openly mocking Daniel. Rick strutted across the court, high-fiving his players, while Daniel emerged from the locker room in borrowed sneakers and an old Lincoln High jersey from decades ago. From the opening whistle, it was chaos. Rick's team dominated. Daniel moved slowly, guarding his side of the court, barely touching the ball. The jeers from the crowd grew louder. Caleb sat on the edge of his seat, frowning. Midway through the second half, something shifted. A player on Rick's team fumbled a pass, and the ball bounced toward Daniel. He caught it instinctively, and for a brief second, time seemed to slow. Memories of his college baseball days surged back, not the baseball skills, but the footwork, the focus, the coordination. He dribbled past one defender, then another. Rick stepped up, arms wide. "Come on, janitor. Show me what you've got." Daniel didn't hesitate. He faked left, spun right, and launched a clean jump shot. The ball arced perfectly, hitting the backboard and dropping through the hoop. The gym erupted. Caleb leapt to his feet, shouting, "That's my dad." Rick's smile faltered, replaced by something Daniel had never seen on his face before: embarrassment. The rest of the game was still one-sided, but Daniel didn't care. He'd scored. He'd kept his word. When the buzzer sounded, Rick walked to center court, microphone in hand. The crowd quieted. He looked at Daniel, then at the sea of students watching. "A bet's a bet," Rick said, his voice uncharacteristically subdued. "Daniel Brooks, I've been a jerk. I've treated you with disrespect, and that ends today. You showed me, and everyone here, that dignity isn't about titles or jobs. It's about how you carry yourself. I'm sorry." The apology was genuine, and the crowd cheered, not just for the game, but for the moment. Afterward, students came up to Daniel to shake his hand. Teachers clapped him on the back. For the first time, many saw him as more than just the man who cleaned their floors. That night, as Daniel and Caleb walked home under the glow of streetlights, Caleb looked up at his dad. "I'm proud of you," he said. Daniel smiled, ruffling his son's hair. "You know, buddy, sometimes standing up for yourself isn't about fighting. Sometimes it's about showing people who you really are." From that day on, no one called him just the janitor again. He was Daniel Brooks, father, man of dignity, and, to everyone's surprise, the guy who scored the most memorable basket in Lincoln High history.